It's an early recording of the Wrestling Underground podcast. I'm your host, Chad Porto, and joining me, there's letters there I didn't pronounce. Joining me, as always, is the glorious one himself, Marcus Green. Marcus, how are you?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm good.
Oh, well, we have the stupid to talk about tonight. So much stupid. Not all of it. In fact, we're going to start with one that I've kind of flip-flopped on a little bit. For the first time in its illustrious history, Pro Wrestling Illustrated will, in fact, have male and female wrestlers listed on their PWI 500. I don't like it, but I'm also fine with it if that makes any sense whatsoever. At first, I kind of was like, but then I realized, like, well, technically, when like MMA does pound for pound rankings, women are included, so I guess that makes sense. The thing that I think kind of irks me is that their criteria for the 500 is always just so dumb. And I made a comment about this on Twitter, and I want to reiterate it. This is the last thing they should have worried about doing. They're a magazine still publishing like it's 1979 when it's 2020. Stop trying to pretend that we're all in on this, kayfabeness, that we're all buying into the kayfabe. Become the industry magazine that you should be. Become that industry trade that you should be, and actually have yourself be kind of taken seriously. Be the magazine that actually ranks the top 500, not on how well the WWE books someone, but on simple ability, on ability to have diverse and creative matches, and to cut great promos, and to have good character work, and to have unique matches every so often, and just being the five-tool fucking player. Because I guarantee you, if that was the criteria, Roman Reigns and fucking whoever else wouldn't be goddamn number one every year. Gotta change that. Oh, and by the by, they're totally going to put a woman number one on this year's top 500 at number one. Because they're going to. Gotta sell the fucking book. It's such a fucking cheap ploy. Marcus, any thoughts on the PWI top 500 going co-ed?
I mean, women are in wrestling, so they should be included. That seems like a no-brainer to me. But ultimately, I look at it the same way I look at the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't care. Whatever's important to me is important to me. That's the whole exchange between the wrestler and the fan. As long as I think highly of him, I don't need somebody to tell me how to feel about The Rock. I know how I feel about him, and any other wrestler I like. I think a lot of times we talked about this ad nauseum. People put more importance on this thing than they actually deserve. If you got a page dedicated to some of these guys, you got tats or whatever, you dedicate a whole YouTube page, your rooms decorated with them. That's enough. That's enough. If even one thing they did either changed the direction of your life or kept you entertained, however, then they did their job. I don't need them to be top ranked on some goofy list that's perceived important by certain people or whatever to make them legitimate in my eyes. That the concept of that to me is as tired as doing lists at this point. So
Marcus must have had some Indian food tonight because he's coming out of the gate spicy hot. There is a women's top 100 list that the PWI also put out every year as well. But they're still going to do the integration this year and still put out the top 100 women's wrestlers. That's the kind of part where I'm just like, then why integrate them? Why have a separate one? Like, that's dumb. You the big dumb. I say we buy PW Illustrated. I got 75 cents. Marcus, what do you got? Like 34 cents? Maybe $1.22? I think that's enough to buy the company. And then we'll run it our way.
Damn it, I got 5 pennies. Let's do this thing.
Glacier number one every year.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, you know why they do it, because they're anticipating we need to stop separating the concept of best, you a real great wrestler to be a woman. If in their mind, if Charlotte was the best that year, then she was better than Roman. So they're trying to anticipate that argument, the backlash, specifically, with everything going on in these times right now. But that's basically what that feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, I think that fits with what you said. They probably will make a woman the top. one, and the name I brought up, Charlotte, would likely probably be one of the candidates for that. So
I think the likeliest one, just because they want to get on that gravy train that doesn't exist because she's not a draw, is the mom, Becky Lynch. I
oh
just
yeah,
I
yeah,
just know come August, whenever this thing comes out, it's gonna be Becky Lynch #1, top 500 first woman ever. I'll pick up the special collector's issue. Brah. So selling it to the marks. I don't even know, man. Like, looking at who the top wrestler of the year should be, I don't know if there is one. Like, Bray's terrible, but everyone loves him. Braun's terrible, and nobody likes him. Talk about a fall from grace. I love Goldberg, but I seem to be the only one, besides maybe Marcus. Like, who else? AJ Styles, who's been basically just flat earthing his way into obscurity for the last 3 years.
I, I mean, look, you're not wrong. And I'm not a big fan. It's not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'll throw it out. I give it to Jericho.
Yeah?
Well, the most entertaining fuse of the year was between him and the damn drone.
I would honestly say probably Moxley, even though I'm not an AEW fan. Moxley won the U.S. title in New Japan. He won the
Hmm.
world title in AEW. He's put on some real bangers, and he's reinvented his entire outlook. That would be my pick. And I am a Moxley guy, but I'm not a big Moxley guy. It's not like I got the Moxley Wall of Fame. He's no Sting in my eyes, but he's had a good
Yeah.
year. But like that's it. But they'll probably give it to Becky Lynch. Although if we're
Yeah.
going off of pure booking, there's like you could say Moxley, sure. Becky, I
Hmm.
would say would even be considered because she had almost a year long, if not longer, reign. So fair. But I would
Yeah.
also put in Jacob Hammerstone of MLW, Alex Hammerstone of MLW, Jacob Fott 2 of MLW, as well as Nick Aldis of the NWA, because Nick Aldis is about to hit 900 total days as champion, I think. That's
No, you're
that's
not
that's
wrong.
crazy.
You got to throw Nick in there, man. Like I said, Nick has put that title in that company, and it's a dual effort because it's hand in hand. But he really has taken that title and really been that unmovable spearhead that's trying to gotten the NWA back into you know a lot of its notoriety. Hopefully they can regain momentum once things can kind of settle and get back in the track for them. But yeah, I think you do have to throw him in that conversation. Obviously, it's just a weird conversation to have in general because everybody got knocked off at the knees
Mm-hmm.
and with everything. But I think the names that we brought up, the Jerichos, the guys like you said from MLWs, the Moxleys, and I'm not a big Moxley fan, but I am glad that he's finally in a position to do operate how he wants to operate, whether that's oftentimes to his physical detriment or otherwise. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Everybody else is, I mean, they're there, but they're not really moving the needle in any way. Not for me anyway. So
Tessa Blanchard.
yeah, I'm not finna. Yeah, I'm not finna give Orton the put Orton on the list just because he tweeted that he ran into two Karens and he's pissed. Sorry, it's not a thing.
Bitch, you are a Karen. Randall Karen Orton. It's in your name. Like, the dude's already, like, let's be honest. The one thing that goes hand in hand with Karens, and I apologize to all you Karens out there that haven't earned that name. You were born and given it. As a Chad, I feel for you, ladies. I do. Because my name gets dragged all the time. Boy, you just know a Karen is the type of woman that goes hard R every time she sees a black person. Well, we already know Orton does that. So I think the Keith is actually a Karen, and it's Randall Karen Orton. By the by, just a little shout out to Nick Aldis. He's currently number 10 all time in the total number of days held for the NWA World Title. 889. He
Nice.
will surpass 900 here soon. He's currently one of only five people in the top 10 to have broken the 900-day mark with less than 3 title reigns. He's currently on his second. It looks like, what we got, like another 150 odd days. He could probably break 1,100 maybe by the end of this year. That would put him right behind Gene Knitsky for 7th all time, surpassing Adam Pearce. So he's got some fucking things to do. I just hope he doesn't coast the rest of the year and not have any defenses, because I would feel like that would be a hollow victory, personally. That's just me. So, Marcus, let's move on. Got a little drama going on. Brian Pillman is currently in the midst of debuting on AEW Dark this week.
Hmm.
But he's still technically signed with MLW, although he said that he and MLW had gone their separate paths, to which, of course, Corp Bauer said, well, that's news to me, because we fully expect him at our summer and fall tapings for our MLW TV show, assuming the pandemic doesn't derail us. So now we have a little bit of kerfuffle, and this isn't the first time AEW has brought on signed talent to work their shows when these talents were working elsewhere. And it's also not the first time that we're starting to see kind of Tony Khan's business practice. Now, Corp Bauer is smart enough, even if he's pissed off, to know that going full ham hock on well, we support him anyway, and we hope he does well with AEW. We just fully expect to see him come July or August. I think it's August and November. So, like, he's saying all the right things. I'm supporting the talent, but he's still working with us. But this ain't the first time that, AEW has pulled this. They did it with MJF. They had Brian Cage on when Cage was still under Impact contract. I think he did like that, like a battle royal for them. What was it, like last summer, Marcus, or maybe the summer before that for All In. I forget when. It was before he won the world
Yeah.
title, though. So this isn't the first time. Kind of a shady business practice, and we're going to get to another AEW talent here in a little bit. But Pillman seems gung ho to join AEW, and Court Bauer has not stood in front of anyone's way who wants to leave and work elsewhere, and I give him credit for that because he does have a nice platform, and people are starting to glom to his promotion. It's just right now, guys aren't working. So just like
Yeah.
you saw with the NWA with Tasha Steelz, you're seeing guys leave decent outings to go elsewhere just to work. But I don't know if
That's-
Brian Pillman is the kind of guy that you want to build a promotion around. He's certainly young. He's got the body, but in ring wise, he doesn't impress me. But Marcus, are you concerned that AEW may be having too much on the disrespect wagon, if you will, of the kind of keeping in mind like they're bringing in other promotions guys knowingly and without really any care because they can out fucking lawyer them? Do you find that to be a bit of a rude maneuver by them as a company?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's bad business to me. Just because if I were in this sort of business like that, I would just want clean breaks all around. Like
Mm-hmm.
specifically on a pandemic, I wouldn't want to have any sort of discrepancies at all, because really right now, we run it as a hazard even doing shows. We saw what happened with WWE, and even though it seems like AEW is doing better with their process in which they're going about actually looking out for their talent. Um, in the words of Taz, I'm guessing they're not hacks or whatever he said, but still, I mean, like I said, I think that in that regard, I don't know if the to come off what you said, I don't necessarily know if the juice is worth the squeeze with that would, and the fact that would potential legal ramifications be worth it for a Brian Pillman. It's not like you're lacking in a number of talent or a number of quality talent. So do you want to huss and fuss over a Brian Pillman? Is it that serious when there's clearly some form of miscommunication here? Like I said, so I think you just got to weigh your options. If it was me, I'm not doing it. Like I said, I prefer a clean break. Make sure everybody's in the clear, so there are no discrepancies. Because, like I said, it's just one more thing to add on to some already crap that we got to deal with in this pandemic right now.
And it also kind of goes to show who you'd be doing business with. If I'm a rival promoter and I'm seeing that these guys don't really have any scruples and they'll bring on anyone regardless of contract status, that just tells me who they are. And let's not, Tony Khan's really playing his hand here. We know he's bluffing on the whole good guy act. Oh, he won't let Hulk Hogan come on his show because Hulk Hogan said the N-word. Oh, but Tony Khan doesn't fire anyone who gets accused of rape. Tony, you're full of shit. You're not a good guy. You're taking the easy shots. Like that. Honestly, Marks, it feels like that guy who knows if someone looks into their closet, it's going to see all the dead hookers. So instead of letting people look into his closet, he just keeps screaming that the other house is on fire. Like, bro, the house isn't on fire. And even if it was, you did the bare minimum. We still coming to check out the closet.
as he tries to gather together a flamethrower so he could burn the hooker.
Yeah, he's just kicking the hooker's arm back in the door. What? There's no dead hookers in here. What? No. Jalen Ramsey didn't want to play for us? Oh, I couldn't imagine why. Seriously, when you're the owner of a football team and your entire football team wants to be traded, not literally, but everyone who's worth a damn, I don't know. Maybe you should worry about that.
You everybody like they you didn't expect them to put that house fire you sent them to out early. Thought you'd have time, and then they just bust back in your house, and all the people here is flare up now.
Get a little Krillin solar flare. Krillin, why didn't you use solar flare? Because I forgot.
I wanted a fireplace in my closet.
What? You guys just can't make a fireplace out of a closet? Says who? I did, and my kindling is 15 dead hookers. I mean, definitely not dead hookers. Tony Khan, you're showing yourself. I want to talk about this real fast. Rey Mysterio's working out without a contract. I found this dumbass fucking photo of him like wearing like a Terminator face paint, and half his face is being revealed. And he's got. I just remember that he had the Gucci brand symbol on his neck. Like, all right, listen. I'm not a tattoo guy. I'm not a drinking guy. I'm not a very wild man. The wildest thing about me is I enjoy the occasional package of sour Skittles. Gasp! I know I have a problem. But why the fuck would you ever get a multi-$100 million brand name on your neck? Like, am I supposed to think like that's? Oh, never mind. It's an OG. I thought it was a double G. Never mind. Moving on. Still, dumb tattoos. Dumb tattoos nonetheless. Marcus, he's working without a contract. Apparently, the WWE has no interest in signing his son, but he also doesn't realize that no one else really wants to sign him anymore. Are you in favor of Ray being used without a contract, or are you hoping that he fucking sticks it to the WWE and shows up on Slammiversary Sunday?
To me, as a Mysterio, long-time Mysterio fan,
or Fighter
I would
Fest.
prefer him to put. Yeah, I would prefer him to put himself in the best position, and it's murky right now because his son is involved. And while he may not necessarily be over the moon to stay, like, but he could, stay or leave WWE either way. He's had, his time there, and he's got more years behind him than in front of him. So I don't know exactly where he is with that, but his son, on the other hand, is just getting started, right? And to him, he's already kicking things off in the big kahuna of promotions. So any other place that's not WWE may be a step down, and if his dad goes, that puts him, probably leaves him in a sticky situation. So he might just be doing it for him. But even with his son there, he's been there long enough to know how shady WWE is, specifically with those business practices, how the whole concept of the warped concept of the independent contractor thing goes on there. He's seen people be bribed to stay knowing that they wouldn't be used in any prominent role creatively. And he's also seen people be held at ransom when they want to leave. In terms of just, out of pettiness. So I don't know what the deal is. Like I said, I feel like he's probably just doing it for his son at this point, or just like he feels like this is a storyline worth seeing out. But you're working with a freaking eye patch during a pandemic on a handshake deal with the devil. I can't put my faith in that. Like, you need to have some type of reassurance, and good faith is not worth anything right now to me with that company. So
the WWE is a high sun at noon over a forest because it's nothing but shady. When I look at this company, Marcus, I'm not at all surprised to see that Rey Mysterio. And I find it funny that you're like, maybe Rey likes the angle. And I'm sitting here going, maybe Rey has brain damage then. Because he's in the only promo of his career where the guy on the mic opposite of him is worse than he is. So that's already a good news situation for Rey Mysterio. But I mean, think about it. Like, they're doing a fucking eye for an eye match. What? And, like, you think, like, okay, like, what does that even mean? And the WWE even confirmed, Marcus, the match will not end until a competitor has their eye removed. I don't know how they're going to do this.
Rocket from Guardians must be loving this.
Oh, my God. Right? It's like, I didn't actually want you to take it. I just wanted to see if you would. Vince McMahon slapping his knee. Seth actually takes Ray's eye. I didn't think you'd actually do it. Oh, my God. That's the funniest shit ever. Oh, my God. This is... it's going to be awful.
Well, we got to do this for old times. What's the JBL quote there?
Which one? There's so many.
After the eye's been removed. Oh my God! It's a blind jalapeno.
Oh yeah, JBL had a bunch of one-armed man in an ass-kicking contest, or those kind of colloquialisms. We'll have to go back and see. Like JBL from like 06 to 07 commentary before he came back was choice. After that, he was just bad because they no longer let him go full bore. But man, like the whole "I would think of Johnny Cochran and sue your ass" was like the best line. I know, like, it's not couth, but Marcus, JBL being vaguely racist in 2004 is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Goes to Japan and fights Godzilla. He's literally kicking Hispanic people out of the country at the border. Like, it's so grotesque in its philosophy, but it's so fucking funny.
What's even funnier than that was yeah, I'm pretty sure he did that during his feud with Eddie Guerrero, and that was Eddie's idea.
Oh, was it?
And yeah, he told it on the backstage, and he was like, Eddie, are you effing crazy? These people are gonna want to kill me. Like, what are you talking about? Because he was going to places with predominantly Latin audiences, so he's like, this not funny, but he knew it'll get him heat. Which is the whole point, for Eddie being a babyface. So, but he committed to it, and not that, there's a whole lot he needs to do for believability there with that character. But yeah, that's funny.
Well, I believe Eddie suggested it. I don't believe that JBL was hesitant because this is the man who did the Nazi goose walk in Germany on a tour once. So, JBL, Speaking of, Marks, I don't want to speak for you because I find that condescending. But you gotta think that this title's ugly as fuck. This new U.S. belt, man. I saw it last night, Marcus, and I'm just like, what? It looks like a bottle cap opener.
Still ahead of the you're not wrong. Still ahead of the damn tag straps, but that's a low margin in general. It does look like it'll make a great keychain.
Get it for $5.95 at your local pro sports team shop.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's not good.
The section that's the section of the WWE shop that they exclusively hold for like the people who clearly got in the cheap seats. They in the cheap seats so high up they always make it to concessions first because they already halfway up there. But yeah, I mean, look, it goes with the design of the new style of belt, and even these belts better than the ones we talk about all the time from ROH. Just by detail alone, but still, and yeah, you'll forgive me for not having too much pride in the U.S. belt right now. So,
All I'm saying is there was a better design that you could have gone with, and you opted not to.
Let's see. How did you feel about the old one, though? Did you think it was time to put that down and you do something else?
Truthfully, I thought that thing should have been shot in the head when it debuted.
Okay.
I had no love for that. Like, look at this belt that I sent you. It's gold. You get the American flag inside of the country of America. You get the simple United States designation at the top, and then heavyweight champion underneath. It's classic. It's regal. its taste, its elegance. The WCW United States title was maybe the best title. In fact, honestly, after the tag titles got the rebranding in '99, they had the best looking set of belts I've ever seen in a company. Their world title was the big old belt. Their U.S. title belt was fantastic. The TV title belt was cool as hell. And the tag team titles were sleek, modern, but also timeless. This gaudy monstrosity that they gave us is so 2020, it's not even funny. And also, how did they get this belt finished, but Cody and A&W? Because they're making root beer now. Oh, God, Chad. What is wrong with you today, Chad? Cody and AEW could not get their TNT title finished. Are you sure it was done? Because the WWE got theirs finished? I'm just saying, I smell bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny. They keep, because I'm glad he mentioned it, and it got mentioned when it first debuted. However, like, it's getting to the point where by the time they do get it finished, I'm not gonna care.
You know what you could have done besides debuting an unfinished belt? Not debuted it yet? I know, shocker, right?
And what's even worse than that, what could happen is, but what if they finish it and be like, you know what? I liked it better the other way.
Oh, God, that would be funny. Unlike this company. Because we have to talk about AEW again in the news for bullying indie talent. So, remember when FTR, Fear, Fuck, Fly, I don't fucking know, the Revival, they left the WWE and they're like, yeah, we're totally going to call ourselves the Revolt. And then Caleb Conlon's like, motherfucker, I already have that name on lock. You can't use it. And they're like, well, we're going to trademark it and go fuck yourself. Well, they eventually backed off because turns out it was bad fucking business. Go figure. Well, now Billy Gunn's trying to do the exact same thing that the former Revival tried to do. I don't know if you've heard this story, so let me start from the beginning. Let's see. It was reported earlier today that... Hang on, that's not the right one. Here's the right one. On a OVW podcast featuring Ted McNaylor. He was on the Monday Locker Room show with Ben Hammond, where he claimed that Tony Gunn received a cease and desist letter from AEW's Billy Gunn over the use of the term The Gun Show, spelled with two N's. Tony Gunn, who's been on Impact Wrestling a few times last year as part of the deal with OVW, got a cease and desist from Billy Gunn over the usage of the term Gun Show, which, as far as I know, Billy hasn't even used that term in AEW yet. Apparently, he got the rights to it back in February, but Tony Gunn has been using that literally for the last few years on OVW and on YouTube and on something called U2, spelled with T-O's, U2 America. But he has it on his tights. He has it on his shirts. He has it in his music, and now now it's all being taken away. Now, I did talk to a lawyer friend of mine, and he did say Tony has a leg to stand on, and as someone who studied law and contract law, I can tell you that Tony Gunn not only has a leg to stand on, he's got right to this fucking gimmick before Billy does if he wants to go to court. But then again, Billy Gunn's probably being funded by AEW lawyers, so there may not be a lot of money in that. But talking with Tony, I don't know if he just doesn't want to have any heat with possible future opportunities, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to legally fight it, which is a shame. And the crazy part is Gunn is his shoot. It's his real name, but now it's being taken away. Yeah, his shoot name is Tony Gunn, and based off what my lawyer friend tells me, Tony has documented prior use, and not only that, we have done two documented shows with Billy Gunn on which he said, I guess from a lawyer standpoint, that Billy had the opportunity to approach Tony Gunn about the legal rights to that name and did not approach Tony about that prior. And to me, that he had two prior opportunities to address it and didn't. Tony then cut a promo about the cease and desist from Billy, appealing to independent wrestlers to protect their brands before they are taken away. I was recently told that, Tony, you can no longer use that gimmick, The Gun Show, that it's been trademarked by someone on a bigger stage, a bigger platform. And that means what I've been building over these 3 or 4 years, building my brand, building who I am, is gone. Down to the music that I have made, I cannot use. Down to my wrestling gear, my catchphrase that I say on the mic, what I'm referred to in this wrestling business, The Gun Show, to my merchandise that I have, I cannot sell anymore. I can't do any of it. I've been stripped away of it, and I've never felt this way before. I've never had my wrestling identity stolen from me. I never thought that could happen to me. It hurts a lot, and I am pissed. I'm pissed off, really pissed off. I've been wrestling for 15 years, and I've had a lot of gimmicks and a lot of characters along the way, and I finally found something that works for me, something that translated to the people on TV, and now I've had that ripped from underneath me. It's bullshit. At the end of the day, it's truly my fault as an independent wrestler. You're supposed to protect your business. You're supposed to protect your brand. My brand was the gun show, and now I lost that brand because of me. It's a long fucking article. I'm going to say this. Any independent wrestler out there that's really making a name for themselves, that's really found their niche and something that's working for them, take it upon yourself because nobody else is, and get that trademark because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's going to come along and steal your wrestling identity and steal your gimmick. For that person or the people that did this, karma's a bitch, and you'll get exactly what you deserve. For me, I'm going to grow from this. And I'm truly the only one, a real and honest gun in professional wrestling. And that one that stole this from me, all you are is nothing but an ass, man. I appreciate that callback. Now, the story doesn't end there. Billy Gunn's dumb wife decides to tune in, not realizing that, hey, we got some fucking receipts for you, but okay. So his wife responds, here it is. His wife responds by saying, has anyone seen the cease and desist order? No, because there isn't one. He's lying to everyone. Whoa, he's lying about you guys coming for the name? Whoa, that's good to know, Pamela. Karen. Oh, wait, never mind. There's more. We reached out via text message to OVW to let them know that we aren't trying to be assholes, but we trademark Gun Show, and please let Tony know he can't use it. Here's a little proof positive. This is an image from Tony Gunn's Facebook account, or this is from his Twitter account. It's on a website from PW Guru. We're going to click on it. We're going to roll on up. And we're going to look right here. It says, what does that say? Does that say November 28th, 2019? Holy shit. Could you Google Tony Gunn and find his shirt, The Gun Show? Yes, you can. I hope this motherfucker sues the shit out of Billy Gunn. But I want to continue going on with that. What's her name? Pamela? Paula. Sorry, it's Paula Marcus. Paula goes on to say, he's upset that he can't use it anymore, which is understandable. And illegal from you cunts. We have been going through leaps and bounds to trademark the Gun name and everything related to it, including Gun Show. We've hired an attorney last year for our trademarks. We spent thousands of dollars for our trademarks. Again, he's been using this for well over 4 years, but cool story. Billy has worked over 25 years using the Gun name professionally and on the indie scene. Tony should have reached out to us and talked to us as a professional, and we could have worked something out. Instead, he went to podcast, social media, and wrestling dirt sheets. As a professional, whether it's owning a business or wrestling name, you have to protect yourself and your identity. If you've been around longer than 5 years in the business, you should know this. If Tony doesn't want an actual letter from our attorney, he will cease and desist the defamation of Billy. We wish Tony all the best with his wrestling career. Marcus, this cunt needs to be smacked by a woman. I will offer up 5-10 pennies to do the slapping. What an outlandish mongrel of a human being. What? But this is, Marcus, this is why I keep saying about AEW. They don't care about the wrestling business. This is the second time in 3 months that one of their talent are bullying established indie stars for their intellectual properties.
No, I mean, it sucks. It's it sucks, and you know, obviously people's kids and wives usually off limits. But I never like when people's spouses just randomly come out of left field and jump in situations that they really don't need to. Like, that crap could have been said by Billy, or hell, even by his son if he wanted to get involved or whatever, which along that would have been unnecessary because it's not him, it's his dad. That's you know, the guys directly talking about. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and what even sucks worse is hearing what, you know, the guy has, you know, has come of the result of this and how he feels about it. And obviously I'm going to lean to your wisdom in terms of the legalities of this whole thing. But, you know, if he is that impassioned about it, it does suck that much, unless he's definitively sure that because of how, I guess, he didn't necessarily procure any type of hold on the situation, that it's kind of like a foregone conclusion that he's going to take a L on this, that he's ultimately just going to spend a bunch of money he doesn't really have to spend. Um, it sucks that he got to take that L, but if there is a shining glimmer of hope that he could win, I'd go for it. Because again, like you said, this is
A statement.
a lot of those indie guys have gone through a ton of gimmicks, and it's hard to find one that works, specifically when you really don't necessarily have a hope of getting picked up by one of these quote unquote bigger companies. So when you find something that works, you got to run with it, because it is a bulk of your income, specifically if you peddling merch. So cutting him off at the knees like that, it sucks, and that's kind of what happens. And I'm pretty sure Billy is aware of what that would do to somebody like that. But again, the bottom line is the bottom line, which is what he's thinking about. So yeah, like you said, karma is a what, and hopefully that does come. But like I said, if the young man does feel that Tommy Gunn, right?
Tony Gunn.
If he,
I fucked that up too because it's just such an easy name.
Yeah. And ironically, Tommy Gunn is the name of an adult star. But if he does feel that impact about it, man, you go for it. You know what I'm saying? If you got it to go, go for it. I just hope that something works out for him, because this is a sucky situation to be put in.
Tommy Gunn's also the villain of Rocky V.
They needed something in that movie for Rocky to punch.
Well, they could have done better. For this, it's just kind of, this is not a case that Billy Gunn has in his favor. And that's the part that maddens me. To say that you've had this for 4 years, I found photos of this at least from 2018, 2017 with him wearing it's time for the gun show, or get ready for the gun show, something to that effect. So there's obviously stuff that exists out there as evidence. And also you now have Ted McNaylor saying that, hey, Tony was part of shows with Billy in the past when Tony was using this gimmick and Billy never said anything. That right there screams of gimmick infringement. I wish to hell like people aren't just, it's like anything else in this world. You get a week of activity and then everyone's like, well, we're done now. Whether it's protests, whether it's the speaking out movement, whether it's people caring about Cleveland sports, we had a week. 1 week in 2016. It comes and goes so quickly. But this type of behavior, it needs to be addressed, because this is just as bad as anything in the speaking out movement in terms of abuse of power, because literally the reason Gunn's not doing any type of challenging of Billy's claim on his ideology or his identity is because Tony doesn't want to fuck up any potential opportunities in AEW. Like, to an extent, that's whoring yourself out. And I'm sorry to say that, Tony Gunn, because I love you and I've actually seen a lot of your work and I'm a big fan. And no, I'm not confusing you with Tommy Gunn, the adult film star. But I've always said Tony Gunn for the last 2 years was one of the names that Impact should sign to the roster, because he's a worker. He's a great grinder. He's not the most charismatic guy, but like you put him in a tag team, he's got that Dean Malenko icy vibe about him. He could work. So to see him kind of kowtowed because he's afraid of losing a possibility is exactly what's wrong with the industry. And if I was Tony Khan and I cared about the industry as much as I claim to, and I'm a big fan of wrestling, if I was Cody Rhodes, who's all about the brand, I would do something. But these guys aren't going to do something. Why would they? They're clowns. And I hate to break it to you, but the circus ain't in town anymore. So what the fuck are you two still doing here? It infuriates me, Marcus, because this is bullying, and I fucking can't stand bullying. This one got me hot.
No, man, I feel you. What's even worse is nothing can come of this on Billy's side. He could just get it and never do anything with it. Like, what happens, like, if he like leaves AEW, goes on and do something besides wrestling, but his son stays and his son gets a whole new gimmick and moniker, and the whole gun show thing never gets used. Now Tony is still screwed, but again, like I said, it's even worse because the whole concept is not even being used. So that's the real middle finger. And then again, like you said, if he's still holding out to work in AEW. That's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, why would you even want to go to potentially work with a place? You got to look at a guy who routinely is basically there for crowd noise every week if you've been watching the shows, along with his son, who basically took a potential gimmick you could have came in and succeeded with, or an aspect of a potential gimmick. So
It's a real douchebag move from someone who knows what he's doing. Billy knows what he's doing. He's hurting someone's career. So we got to talk about Jay Lethal, though. Full cards on the table. Marks and I are very big fans of Jay Lethal, but I do feel like he and I can handle this as neutral party observers, mostly because we're more about anything, more than anything, we're about the truth on any of our shows. We don't like subterfuge. We don't like being lied to. We don't like being played. We believe full-heartedly that if there's such shit going on, we're not going to sit here and stand for you. We're going to let the fucking wolves take you down. Like if you're coming up to us, me and Marcus are in that life, preserver, like in that lifeboat, and you're like, hey, pull me in, and we're like, you done some dirty shit, my dude. There's a shark behind you. We're just, I don't know, like we only got enough rations for me, Marcus, and like these 12 honeys over here. They're kind of sexy. Like we're getting picked up in like a half an hour, so it's not even that big of a deal. But like you're still gonna need to deal with your shit with that shark over there.
I give you that line from Aquaman, author of Black Mantle's father. Oh, the Black Mantle, yeah. You killed innocent people. You asked the sea for mercy.
I mean, God, I forgot how fucking dope Black Manta was in that. That is a movie that did not get as much play as it should have. Like people were talking about not Justice League, Avengers for like 3 years after, even when the second one came out, and I'm like, "Boy, sucks. It's so bad." And now like Aquaman didn't blow my socks off. I liked it, but also like Black Manta was really good. Like he was real good. I want to see him and Shazam go at it. So, what are you, helmet dude? Black Manta just kind of cocks his head at him like, the fuck? What are you, Sunshine Lightning Boy? Hey.
Oh no, even better than that. Like what are you like Fishbowl Boy or something like that with the helmet dude, like you said, and then all of a sudden the eyes start going like, oh, you got headlights because he don't know what's coming.
I'm Black Manta. Oh, hey, are you white underneath that? Because if you are, that's appropriation. Shazam, SJW, Shazam Justice Warrior. All right, so let's talk about Jay Lethal with a little bit of respect, maybe, if we can. Jay Lethal was accused of covering up sexual assault allegations in the Ring of Honor locker room, as well as being accused of being silent when incidents were being done. One individual, I want to say it was Kelly Klein, but don't quote me on that, actually named a Cleveland independent wrestler by the name of J-Rock as somebody who, just a couple years ago, had kind of flexed his way, I guess, into the women's locker room or in front of a bunch of the ladies, and they're claiming that he harassed, she's claiming that he harassed them. He's claiming it was a misunderstanding. Who knows? But, so Jay Lethal got dragged into that conversation. And Jay Lethal, and to be fair, this is about 2 years coming because Taylor Hendricks accused him of basically saying, if you want to be on the tour, you got to sleep with me, essentially. And now Taylor Hendricks is essentially retired as a competitor in the industry. But Jay never really, defended himself against those accusations. So this is now his response. The full statement reads, "It has always been my choice to use silence to keep my dignity, refrain from publicly attacking people I'm not fond of, and relying on who I have been as a person to speak for itself. I have also never wanted to use my platform to boost or give anyone attention to any negativity. I don't know, I do, however, know and realize that some people will sadly take my silence to mean something else. The hashtag Speaking Out movement has given me hope that the industry that I've chosen to give my life to will become a better place. I've wanted to stand in support of those brave enough to share their stories. Unfortunately, I was afraid due to the lies that are being said about me. Excuse me. I have never and would never sexually harass, sexually assault, rape, or force myself on anyone. I would never use my status to deny anyone opportunities. Even now, it pains me to know that defending myself somehow tarnishes an important movement and casts doubt on real troubling experience. It was Kelly Klein who originally kind of spoke to him. Yesterday, actually, Kelly Klein tweeted out, when J-Rock harassed a female member of Ring of Honor locker room, he was told to leave and was not welcome back. Multiple women brought complaints and evidence of sexual misconduct harassment by Jay Lethal. Ring of Honor ignored and covered it up. They only take action when convenient. They are hoping to use another quote-unquote investigation to wait everyone out until we quote-unquote forget. Thank you, Ring of Honor, for all the truly wonderful things you do and have done. Now please address the bad behavior. Do better. Right now you continue to choose not to. Let's see. It goes on to say, it's hard when your favorite get called out. Imagine what it's like to be targeted and harassed by that person and not protected because he or she is a favorite. People can be talented, friend too many, good for community, and also take advantage of and abuse others. Not mutually exclusive. In fact, qualities that make it hard to accept that a favorite could do something horrible are the things that they use to gain access to victims and escape accountability. They don't usually wear a sign or broadcast their bad intentions. A Twitter fan said, does Taylor Hendricks not count Jay when asked about the accusations? And Jay says, of course she counts. I just didn't do what she accused me of. That's all. And I like her, and I completely forgot her name. Kelly Klein. That idea of being a good person in the light and a bad person in the shadows is completely 100% good and honest, because I'm a terrible person in the light, but you want to know me in the shadows, because I'm always asking my buddies, "Are you okay? You need something? Can I do something for you?" But on the podcast, I'm more like, "Burn this shit down." So I get it, because I'm the inverse. Yeah. I seem like the last person you want as a friend until the show goes off, and then I'm like, "You okay, buddy? Can I do something? You guys need anything?" So I 100% believe Kelly Klein. I didn't believe Taylor Hendricks at first. I didn't, and I'm not going to deny that. I was skeptical of Taylor Hendricks. But when there's so many voices speaking out, it's hard not to. But here's where things like this, this kind of just popped up, 30 minutes ago. So we're going to go and kind of handle this. Joey Mercury, he likes his Twitter. He tweeted out, "I fucking dare you to sue me," talking to Ring of Honor. The actual tweet says, "Does Sinclair Broadcasting think I'm going anywhere? It's tiring, being ignored, but inspiring to know that Joe Koff, Greg Gilland, Hunter Johnson, a.k.a. Delairs, and others are going radio silence because they think I will go away. If anyone supports me, thanks. If not, got evidence, don't need you." So he goes on to say, "You ain't going to do shit in regards to suing me. You're not so dumb that you don't realize, if you do, the truth all comes out in subpoenas and depositions under oath with evidence. Joe Koff lied in Sports Illustrated. Greg Gilliland lied in Newsweek. You have sexual predators you protect, not with third-party HR, but with your own. I was forced to breach my contract when I held myself out as a rep for the company at Hunter Johnson, Joe and Greg's orders by booking talent, flights, hotels, giving finishes, being a head coach. Bad move to have Lethal make that statement. Marty Skrull, too. Twice. You're up in your ears and shit, and guess what? I don't want $1. I want the truth. Do you? I got evidence. Do you? I don't have $1 either. So good luck in suing me. It's been 6 months since you threatened me. Wait till the article on Lethal comes out from a global news outlet. So it seems to, it sounds like that Joey Mercury's saying hardcore. Someone's got the dirt on Jay Lethal, and it's about to come out in the light of day. Marcus, does the Kelly Klein tweets and the Joey Mercury tweets affect how you see Jay Lethal and maybe give credence to the accusations against him?
It does alarm me when it comes to Lethal. Like you said, like you preempted before going on this conversation, we don't like to jump out the gate all willy-nilly and pick sides. We just try to present all of them. And it's interesting because, when I originally saw the headline looking it up on the site before the show, I was like, okay, let's see what it's going to be against Lethal. Then I saw that it was Kelly Klein, and I'm sitting there like, because I read a statement, I'm like, that was probably the best part of her statement was the talking about, kind of watching your heroes from one perspective and realizing, that they can very much be that, but also be something completely different. very much monstrous to other people
Mm-hmm.
in another light, which is like you said, 100% factual, and it really is really what's coming to light about a lot of these guys in entertainment in general. But with Lethal, listen to his statement. He said all the right things, and what his statement did that's been better than other guys' statements. He didn't make anything personal other than the fact that he denied the claims. He didn't take shots. It didn't come off like he was being condescending, but that also can be very orchestrated. Um, and like you said, the whole concept of when there's smoke, there's fire. And if more of this smoke wasn't coming from somebody like Klein, who very much stuck her neck out on the line for a company full of people, some of which who may have not did the same for her, which ultimately I think ended up, you know, getting her outed, in terms of her ability to be able to work for that particular company. That was very much at a detriment to herself for the right thing to do. So just on the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like she would be turn around and be a person to be vindictive to exclusively um, point out Jay Lethal to just run him into the ground for no good reason. So that kind of raises a couple of red flags. Like I said, that Lethal had a statement that was, to the point and didn't come off condescending. But again, these statements can be very orchestrated and very doctored. So, I didn't necessarily have a dog in the fight, and definitely didn't really um, have any believability or whatnot one way or the other with Taylor when I initially read Taylor stuff. But um, stuff is starting to kind of look a certain way more favorably for her on her end as well. Because what it sounds like is she may have been the only one to speak up at a time where other people just didn't see it conducive to. So it's funny, man.
It's gonna be interesting, and Joey Mercury I'm just scrolling through his Twitter account, and I'm not gonna go through every little bit of thing that's being said because I
Yeah,
don't know a lot of the context for some of this.
yeah,
But there's there's
people
some
know what
shit.
about his. Yeah,
Exactly. He's the
hmm
member of the family that you keep asking to get rid of the problems and to bury the solutions, but then you ain't gonna be there for him when he needs an alibi. What do you think's
yeah.
gonna happen when you let the Mad Dog know that he's no longer under the shroud of the family? I don't like to dive into stereotypes, but I'm super fucking Italian, right? And I'm gonna tell you, I may not know family who would do this. I might. But being a member of a family that is very ingrained with the idea of you don't speak against the family, if you need to realize that that only exists, that fabric only works as long as the top to bottom are respected the same. Because if the grunts don't believe you're going to protect them when it's time to protect them, well, goddamn, how do you think Capone got taken down? So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, you need to figure out who you can trust and who you can't trust, but you also need to realize when you do the dumb shit, you better not ask the same dude to bury all the bodies. I don't know what's going to happen in Ring of Honor, but they've done fucked up. I believe Kelly Klein 100% because this chick has not wrestled in 7 months, 8 months because of a concussion she suffered. And it's not like she's not super fucking talented. She would easily slide into Impact as the new top chick, even with Perazzo there. I'm not trying to demean Perazzo. I just like overpronouncing her name, Perazzo, because she's a good old girl too. She's an Italian. She gets it. But it's kind of one of those things like looking at Ring of Honor. It's like, yeah, this could be the end. And let's be honest, they've been on the COVID breathalyzer for a few years now. It might be time to pull that sucker. Someone needs to buy Ring of Honor and shut them the fuck down.
Yeah,
Because I don't think they have any
you know,
fucking pieces left to even use at
it's
this point.
it's interesting. You was talking about that kind of hierarchy of like head kahunas and grumps. It's like you would think that a cardinal rule with any, whether it be a small organization or whatnot, um, like don't put somebody that you think is beneath you in a position, or give them, allow them to be privy to information that puts you in a position to have everything to lose, and then put that same said person in a position where they have nothing to lose.
Yep. It's what we call the big bad idea. It's the idea that if you want a clean school or a clean office, you pay the janitor some of the highest, salary of the crew. If they're making $25 an hour, they're properly motivated to earn that $25 an hour. You want to have a shitty looking place? Tell them they got 4 hours and pay them minimum wage. That's what you're doing, right? Like if you want to make sure the dead hookers stay in the closet, you don't pay the cleaning lady minimum wage and say avoid the closet. You pay her, $500,000 every year, and you go, and this stays between us. But apparently, Ring of Honor's never learned that lesson in terms of cover-ups.
Hey, I had to take this opportunity. Hey, Chad, tell people what happened to the Saints.
Well, let's just say they weren't coming this time around.
What wasn't doing your Mickeys right, were you? Your little janitor boys, your little guy who cleans Quentin suits, letting them know about the Wimbledon hotel. Didn't work out so well, did it?
When you blame your son's death on his best friend and then you threaten to kill him at every turn, why are you surprised when he leaks all of your personal secrets to the man who's trying to kill them? Watch The Punisher 2004. It's the best Marvel movie of all time. I'll fight anyone who says differently. Oh, but you didn't see the last one with the portals and the bandit on your left cap. I did, and it was nothing but frosting. I need meat. I want some potatoes, some taters.
What you'll never hear to that is like, yeah, but you didn't see Punisher Warzone. Chad is either gonna punch you completely out, or bust out, go to laughing, and then punch you completely out.
To be fair, either way, you're not going to remember because you're going to be knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Actually, Marcus, you're going to laugh at this. One of my dearest friends in the world loves Punisher Warzone, but hates the first Punisher Thomas J. movie.
Oh.
To his credit, he was living in California when he told me on the phone, so I couldn't slap him. He was smart about it. I was just like, Jeremy, I'm going to slap you next time I see you. And he goes, yeah, that's why I told you over the phone. And I'm just like, clever girl. Oh, God. Yeah, you don't fucking, disrespect the people who buries the bodies. Like, that's criminology 101. That's being a crime lord 101. But it's also one of those things where with Ring of Honor, they've done too much nonsense, and it's just not even the Jay Lethal stuff or the Marty Scurll stuff. There's the Bully stuff, and Bully's not with the company anymore. And if Impact signs him, oh my God, I don't know if I can watch that company anymore. I can't. Same. I don't know. Like I hope to God they don't sign Bully Ray. Like, he had his run in 2011 to 2013 where he was kind of entertaining and he was unique. But he's become just such a blowhard lately, and it's just, and he offers nothing up of value.
It's sucks up everything WWE shoots out.
I mean, essentially. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Ring of Honor. Like, who's even their talent anymore? Like, they're really relying on those Mexican wrestlers to really, pave the way. Like, they got who? Rush? Is it Rush or Roosh?
Yeah, I think it's Roosh.
Roosh. They got Roosh. They got Dragon Lee. They have Rey Horus, Rey Mysterio's cousin, the son of Rey Mysterio Sr. That people often get that confused. Rey Mysterio Jr., the WWE Rey Mysterio, is actually the nephew of the original Rey Mysterio. His son is Rey Horus, and he's in Ring of Honor at the moment. They got John Grisham, Jordan Grace's husband. I like him a lot. He reminds me a lot like Bryan Danielson back in the day. Not as physical, but in terms of the submission styles and the ability to flow in chain wrestling, fucking ringer, man. They're fucking ringers for each other. And they even wear the same kind of like no kind of frills tights and kick pads. So I was like, yeah, he's awesome. How do you put black into Bryan Danielson? He's Brian Blanielson? I don't know. That was terrible. But he's phenomenal, and he needs a bigger stage. That was awful. And I fully apologize for that attempt. Brian Planielson. Who dropped me on my head? My mother, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But like really outside of them, like outside of Grisham, like you would have said Lethal and Skrull, but you wouldn't now. So who else do they have? Like PCO would be an entertaining mid-card act, I guess. I wouldn't put the belt on him. That was a mistake. I don't know, like who else? Like the CMLW guys probably wouldn't sign with Impact.
Yeah, it's Silas seems like a bit of a lifer.
Well, if there's no Ring of Honor, then he's going to need to find a new life. But you're right, unless Ring of Honor goes belly up, But I would sign Silas Young as a undercard guy. I think, especially if you put him with like a Johnny Swinger, I think that would be really fucking entertaining. But like they don't have any young prospects. Most of their guys that they had that were worth a damn are in the WWE now.
WWE or they because they had like you said Cedric guys like Cedric Alexander, Moose. Is Capri still there?
Yes, but he's doing commentary. I think he might be looking to end his in-ring career. Whether he retires as an in-ring guy or stays as an announcer, he's number one. If I'm looking for anyone, I want someone who has, especially in today's climate, you need to make sure that whoever you're bringing on is a choir boy. And who's better than a choir boy? A pastor. Actually, I think he's a minister. I'm not sure what the fucking difference is. But Caprice Coleman's a man of honor and integrity. And if you're looking to have someone who can do some stuff within your company, both on screen and behind the scenes, that's the kind of guy you want. If I'm looking to do some kind of like overhaul with my company, I'm bringing in Caprice Coleman. I mean, he may not want to do behind the scenes stuff, but even if he doesn't, at least having him in the locker room gives people an opportunity to go to somebody that they can trust. He's a good dude. I don't say this enough, but I love Caprice Coleman.
Yeah, and it's in a time where nobody seems like they are who we thought they were. It's nice to see a guy who seems to be actually, the guy that we get, right? A family man, like you said, a preacher and stuff. I think he does. I think he's done some like Christian music and such, and seems like a genuine good guy and extremely entertaining. As if you haven't heard us talk about that before, but
Best
I mean he
facial features in wrestling. That man should teach a class on how to work your face.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I bring him in, I get Grisham, and this is not just me pointing out all the black talent. This is some of their best talent. I think somebody like Grisham will work great with a guy like Eddie Edwards, and some other guys. But,
in Marcus's defense, he can't tell the white people apart, so that's why he sticks with the black ones. Because at least then he can identify facial features. Because like he looks at Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin and goes, Jack Swagger? People, I'm joking about that. Marcus is not racist. He wouldn't be able to put up with me if he was. All right, so here's the roster real fast, Marcus. They got Alex Shelley. I would definitely take him. Amy Rose, no. Angelina Love, no. Bandito, probably. But I wouldn't go too heavy in the Latin stars because we usually see that they don't translate well on Impact for whatever reason. Bateman, maybe. Beer City Bruiser, no. Brian Milonens, he's part of that tag team, the Bouncers, with Beer City Bruiser, so no. Brian Johnson, Brody King, maybe. Bully Ray, no. Cheeseburger, hell no. Dak Draper, what are you, fucking off-brand fucking Briley Pierce? Fuck no. Dalton Castle, no. Dan Maff, no. Delirious, no. Dragon Lee, if you can get him, because he's just fucking money. Eli Issam, I don't know, like... Eli Issam reminds me of DJ Z before he was DJ Z when he was Zima Ion, but he spelled Zima with like a K and like a W. Just fucking nonsense. There's like a fucking tilde in there for some reason. So I would wait until he figures out more of what his gimmick is going to be. Flamita, no. Flip Gordon, fuck no. The Briscoes, fuck no. Jay Lethal, unfortunately, no. Jenny Rose, pass. Jeff Cobb, hell yes, but he's also working with New Japan, and AEW is probably going to try to sign him, so like I don't even know if you can get him, but if you can, hell yeah. I don't think Joe Henry wants to go back to Impact, but if he does, I take him. We're both on the John Grisham bandwagon. They got this dude named Khan or Kuhn. Nope, that's not right. Kun. Kaun. Kaun. He looks dope, sure. Josh Woods looks dope. They could be a tag team. They got a bunch of tattoos, sure. Kenny King, no. They got a dude named LSG. No. Why you name yourself LSG? That's dumb. Mandy Leone, no. Maria Manic, no. Too much baggage. Marty Scurll, no. Moses, I'm afraid to say no. I want to be on his arc if I need to be. Matt Taven, fuck no. You can fuck right on off. Mark Haskins, if he wants to come back, because he was actually in Impact for a brief spell in 2011. PCO, sure. PJ Black, maybe. Rhett Titus, no. Ray Horace, no. Roosh, maybe. Ryan Nova, what is this, 1984? Sessions, Moth Martina, no. Shaheem Ali, no. Shane Taylor, yes. Silas Young, sure. TK O'Ryan, no. Sumi Sakai, yeah, I would say. I would avoid Tracy Williams because his nickname is stupid. Will Ferreira, no. Vincent, no. Velvet Sky, no. I don't know how many of those you agree with me on.
No, I'm right there with you. There's a lot of names I either don't know or don't sound as interesting as they probably should be. And then other names is in the F-no category. So I'm kind of right there with you. I don't think they need a large amount of, in terms of like the potential names that Impact could get. But those are great names. I mean, you could add somebody like Bandito to the X Division. Hell, you could add Grisham to the X Division if they wanted to. I don't know exactly what is his weight, but I mean that doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, you can add him and other names.
If we do a four-way with Dez, Gresham, Willie Mack, and Chris Bay, can we call it the Blacked Division? Please, just one night. Lana's there in the front row for some reason. Rusev's just kind of shrugging, like, the fuck you doing here? She's like, what?
Oh, hilarious. But I don't know how Matthews and Rain would navigate that verbally. Because you already freaking got Rain was on, she was quoting Nicki Minaj and stuff. So, not Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, I don't know if I want them trying to be, get all the verbiage right for that particular concept. This is when you call in Pope for a one night only.
Even better, Pope and Bob Backlund.
Oh God! Get Pope free. Like me and Chad to put in on a Caprice. Y'all get Pope.
I would, dude. A Caprice Coleman Pope tag team. Money. Hell yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talk about real profits from the street.
See that?
I dig that. I do think Impact needs some name value, though. They've lost a lot. Like, talent-wise, They're still good. You know, they got a lot of talent on that roster. But they've lost all their name brands. You know, that's why I'm really hoping that Mr. Anderson, EC3, Kurt Angle, to name a few, are part of the names that come in. You know, we know we know that the Good Brothers are coming in. Like, we know it for a fact. Doc Gallows was just in an Impact T-shirt flexing on social media. The jokes, like, we know the joke, we know the punchline. It's the whole, you know, the Moose walked into the bar and the bartender said, "Why the long face?" Like, we already know it's coming. Like as soon as you said the Moose walks into the bar, we know what the punchline is. We know the Good Brothers are coming in. Who else though? Like, they need EC3. They need Rusev. They need Kurt Angle. They need Mr. Anderson. They need name value because, and I know these are all really good cats, like, right? Like, these are all talented dudes. But when your main event scene has Ace Austin and Trey Miguel in it, you got a weak-ass main event scene. They're talented as fuck. And they're some of the best workers in the company. But in terms of name recognition and name brand, they have some of the least. Like, the Rascals only been around for, like, what, a year and a half? Ace Austin, less than that? Clearly, this was not going to be their match to win. So I'm going to be very interested to see how the next few weeks shake out for Impact. Marcus, any final thoughts on Impact bringing in names or anything else in the world of wrestling?
what else did we trying to see, there was something else. Talked about Rey Mysterio, talked about Lethal, PWI. Is there anything else with Impact? What else? No, that's pretty much it, unless something come through the wire last minute.
Not that I've seen. Although I'm totally shipping Johnny Bravo and Rosemary.
Oh, that would be the awkwardness of that, because they still continue, because I got to catch up on, like, well, tonight will make 3 weeks worth of Impact, so I'm looking forward to that, even looking more forward to certain people being wiped out of the taping.
Wait, Marcus, are you saying that certain people have faded away into nothing?
Dig it!
Sega. Thank you for giving us those commercials. I think it was Sega that did the dig it. Could be wrong. Or you can do the can you dig it, suckers?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Marcus can be found on Twitter at ParadoxKid, ParadoxKid.
That's me.
You can also find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp. Wait, nope, that's right. My Instagram is Chad's Photo Hut, ChadSPHOTOHUT. Marcus's other podcast can be found at The True Penny Show on Twitter at True Penny Show, TruePennyShow. Have you seen the American New Japan shows yet?
No, I haven't. I still got to catch up on the New Japan Cup, because I think the finals are coming up, and I think Dominion is also coming up. So yeah. Oh, by the way, you called it on Sarah Logan.
Oh yes, I did. I forgot about that. We said last week when she's like, I'm taking some time off. I'm sitting here screaming, she's preggers. And then she's like, guys, guess what? I'm pregnant. I'm just sitting here going, bitch, we know. We listen to our show. I may not have all the insights into pro wrestling, but there ain't much about this world I don't understand on a macular level. So, like, get on with our show. Like, we'll let you know what's coming. Like, we are industry trendsetters. Oh, we're gonna make dog walk into a really great fucking insult, by the way. Not sure why it's an insult, but it's fun to say. His ass got dog walked. I've been noticing Marcus is using it too, and I'm just like, I'm so proud. Also, website, realnerdcorp.com. That's right, we're doing our outro. RealNerdCorp. We are also on Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes at the links down below on YouTube's, the Twitches, twitch.tv/WrestlingUnderground, youtube.com/The Wrestling Underground. You can also find us on all of our posts on the website. I already mentioned Real Nerd Corp. Twitter, NERDCORP. That's about all we need to plug at this moment. We'll be back on Thursday at Comic and GameCorp. Me and Marcus are going to be talking about the ending of Season 4 My Hero Academia. We got 3 episodes of Doom Patrol to do. And the new Stargirl.
Yeah.
Huzzah. So tune in for that. Tomorrow, me and Zachary are right back here on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Wrestling Underground, to talk Impact Wrestling and all the updates around this week's show. So tune in for that. For Mark Strain, I'm Chad Porter. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. As always, watch more wrestling. And Marcus, take us home.
Good night, me.